Okay, so we've got a lot to talk about today. So we're going to look at the 2019 iPhone and iPod lineup. So I'm just going to start by, you can look at this picture and come up with some ideas. Well, right now I'm going to talk about the naming of these phones right here. So this one is a very 10R style phone, and it would probably be the 11R. Here over here we can see two phones, a 10 style and more of a 10 Max style, 10S Max, so 11 and 11 Max. Now the question is, how do we write 11? Is it going to be numbers, 1, 1, or Roman numerals, XI? And it would not be iPhone XI, it would be the iPhone 11, or the iPhone 11. I'm going to call it the iPhone 11, and it doesn't matter what I call it since if it's numbers or Roman numerals, because this is audio. So that's not really a worry. So that's what the naming is, that's what I'm going to call it. Although there haven't been any reports confirming or denying these names. So what's going to be inside of these here phones? So there's faster Wi-Fi, possibly 5G, which is faster data, better Face ID, better selfie camera, and USB-C, which is what's on the iPad, so that's pretty cool. But what really is the thing that people are worried about is this design. So there are two leaked designs that we're looking at right now. This one right here, which came from Compare Raja, which there's a link in the description to their website, and you can find links to all of the things in this video because a lot of them are other people's renders. So this is Compare Raja's render of what they believe it will be, and they say they have from internal leaks inside of Apple that this is what it will be. But there's also this one right here with 3 cameras as well. This one has a flash around the center camera and a smaller notch. This one, there's nothing in this report about notch size, but notch will probably be smaller. So what we can determine from this is there will probably be 3 cameras, or possibly 2 cameras and a 3D sensor. And we can also determine that Apple's testing multiple different things right now to see what will work. This design right here had much backlash. No one really liked it when it was released. Although over this design, I'm kind of leaning over here. Now, so some of the things that I want to talk about with this is we can see these two right here right next to each other. Like, what do you think of them? Which one looks more Apple? The thing with the other one, this 3-1 that I don't have a picture of. So the thing with this design is, and here's a concept of this design but a little bit different. This is a concept by Venya Geskin, and I'm not quite sure what I think of this because while this one right here has a very Android look to it with that camera in the middle, I don't like that. This I love. It's what Apple does. It's the cameras like this, and I really like that for Apple. Now, let's look at the whole lineup as a whole here. So, we've got a few things here for this possible lineup. There's this right here, which has, as we can see, the 3-camera one from Compare Raja. We can see the iPhone XR, which will probably have 2 cameras on it. There's a leak reporting that. And then the iPhone X, which may also have 2 cameras on it, or maybe 3. So let's look back at this guy, which is our 3-camera design by Digit India. Link in the description to that as well. I kind of like this because it's very similar to our current design, but a little bit different. So what do you think there? And also with this one right here, it's supposed to have thinner bezels. In fact, probably any option we'll choose will have a thinner bezel and thinner notch from Apple. Now here's the other design, which is basically the same thing, except with instead we have the 3-camera in the box design, which I think looks really cool. So that's another look at the possible lineup. But who knows whether the 10 successor, the 11, will have 2 or 3 cameras. We don't really know. And another thing that I love about this concept by Venya Geskin is it looks just like the current iPhone X and XS Max and things, because it has the same camera, and then camera on the bottom, and then that camera in the middle. The thing about it is it's just has a flash around it. That's really the only difference here. Now, let's move on to the last thing I have here, which is an iPod. So, there have been 2 small leaks related to the release of an iPod Touch 7, which lead to a newer processor, and that's really all we know. So now I'm going to get into my speculation, which I'm going to preface this by saying is my speculation, and we don't even know if Apple will release this. They may not. We're just all super excited about the fact that Apple may release another iPod Touch. So this right here is a design that I pulled up. This is just a iPod Touch 6 promo picture, but I replaced the normal front with a 10R front. So it would be like this. Now here's a slightly different design. This time I also put some AirPods in the background to modernize it a little bit. This design right here shows the notch as just a cutoff, kind of like on the iPad, which may possibly be a cheaper design and may lead them to be able to use a cheaper LCD, which is kind of what this iPod is about. It's cheaper technology for maybe just listening to music or for a kid or something. And if Apple were to release another iPod, I would hope it would be cheap. I would hope it would be sub $400, even like around $300. I would love it if they released this design right here for $300. But they probably won't. They will probably go up to a $400 or $500 if they release it. They might not even, because the iPod Touch seems like a device that they just don't do anything with. So here are 2 designs I have right here. One with a full notch, and then one with this cutoff notch. And then full lineup would include that, and this is a concept from Benny Geskin again, which might be something like this in the lineup, or we might also see a different thing. So, who knows what we'll see from all of these different options. I'm Mike Schuyler. Thanks for watching. Bye.